Welcome to SVG-TV News for Wednesday, December 10th. I'm Jimmy Prince for the details. The Ministry of Agriculture has set May 2015 as the target date to recommence trading of bananas on the United Kingdom market. Speaking at a media conference earlier today, Agriculture Minister Saboto says the trade with the UK will be done through the Windfresh market. Cecil explains that at the moment they are working with the Fair Trade Organization to ensure St. Vincent and the Grenadines meets the requisite standards by May 2015.
I must note that it is a matter of choice that we are first looking to satisfy the regional markets. We were significantly affected by Hurricane Thomas in the year 2010, October the 30th, where we lost 98% of the industry. And in the rebuilding stages, we were affected by the black sigatoka disease, and this year we had the significant challenge of 6 months of drought conditions. Therefore, that would have restricted the expansion that we had anticipated when we closed 2013. However, I was advised by the head of the Banana Services Unit, Mr. Sylvester that we have approximately 900 to 1,000 acres of bananas. And I had a very detailed conversation with Mr. Duncan Richardson, who indicated that he is seeing increases in acreages throughout the country.
Cecil says that there is a current demand from local farmers for over 200,000 banana plants.
Out of a meeting on the weekend that was held by the Farmer Support Company at the Shumaka School, that there's a demand for banana plants on the leeward side in the aggregate of about 15 acres. These plants will be supplied to the farmers in North Leeward before the end of 2014. So basically we are setting the framework, expanding the acreages that we have cultivated for bananas, and the certification process has been started already, because as we rebuild the industry, we must always remember that conventional banana doesn't have a place on the UK market, and we have to be fair trade compliant.
Meanwhile, a new Chief Agricultural Officer has been appointed in the ministry. Minister of Agriculture Saboto told members of the local media today that over the past 3 weeks, his ministry has been undertaking some administrative changes. He announced that Ashley Kane has assumed the post of Chief Agricultural Officer.
He has had a very long history of working in the ministry and also with the banana industry. He has also worked on several projects through the Ministry of Agriculture, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Les Grant, who is now into his retirement. He would have served as chief, and I'm certain that many of our farmers and the entire sector would have benefited from his service, and I really want to wish him all the very best. And as we move forward with Mr. Kane, I also want to welcome him to the position and to say, as the good book says, to whom much is given, much is also expected.
Vincentians are being urged to take pride in taking care of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Speaking at the closing of a Tourism Service Standards Workshop, Chief Executive Officer of the SVG Tourism Authority, Glen Beache, says they are putting things in place to lift the standards of tourism in this country. However, he says every Vincentian must do his part.
Kingstown, now I'm still seeing the litter. We come up with excuses for everything. My team here, as Mrs. King said, we have to lead by example. And I make sure that my staff does that, and I have a great staff. But every one of us have to lead by example. We have to make sure we continue to work hard. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, to all of us, is the most beautiful country in the world. But guess what? To every Bajan, Barbados is the most beautiful country in the world. To every Lucian, St. Lucia is the most beautiful country in the world. We have to make sure we stand out. Make no mistake about it, St. Vincent and the Grenadines has the most diverse product in the Caribbean. We just have to put these little bit of pieces together to make sure it's a complete destination.
Beache says this country has grown significantly as a tourism destination over the past years and will continue to do so.
Speaking to the head of airport, because I'm just coming from a meeting out at Argyle International Airport. And the head of ET Joshua I was thanking her for her support in terms of these standards that we were implementing. And she made it clear that, you know, she approved of it completely. Because this needs to be put in place. So many times we compare St. Vincent and the Grenadines to other countries when it suits us. And then other times we don't. Most countries you go to now, as soon as you get into a taxi at the airport, you have somebody there who asks you where you're going, and they write it down on their receipt, this is how much it will cost.
At yesterday's event, several service providers in the industry received licenses, having met the required standards set by the Tourism Authority. With just under 2 weeks to go before Christmas 2014, many residents of Vermont and the surrounding areas are not yet exactly in the Christmas spirit as they approach the first anniversary of the deadly December 24th, 2013 trough system, which displaced hundreds, left 9 persons dead and 3 unaccounted for. Recently, SVG Television News spoke with some of the residents of the Vermont community, one of the areas that was severely battered by the system. While the residents are generally happy to be alive today, many are still living in fear and are of the view that Christmas may never be the same again.
That's how are you feeling as we approach the Christmas season?
Well, I got to say I'm feeling good, but still thinking about what happened, you know, on that day. Well, we have memories about that, which we can't forget. But we trust God for everything.
Are you preparing for Christmas like normal?
No, I don't have the urge as before. You know, just hoping that everything will work out good.
Yeah. What do you think you can spend Christmas like you used to prior to last year? What do you think?
Well, yes, of course. But just like I still don't have a feelings like before. You know, that go crazy then. You know, some people go extreme for Christmas, but I don't really have that feelings as much as to prepare, you know, over the past time. I don't really have that much feelings.
Christmas, you know, when he come, he come. When we don't study Christmas, but when he come, he come.
Okay.
Because sometimes when you're thinking about Christmas, something crappy like last year, we think you go spend a good Christmas, and you don't spend a good Christmas at all.
Your family and yourself, are you really into the Christmas spirit?
Well, not really too much in because we still expect weather again. So we believe weather will come again. Because the last time when they come here, the whole place be flood.
Right.
Flood right up the house. You understand? So we are feeling still like should this change the rain and weather and the heat, we expect weather might come again.
Alright, when it rains, I'm sure you guys get really scared.
Especially when the river comes and the river keeping noise wrong in the back there.
Yeah.
We're getting scared.
So you haven't started buying anything for Christmas? You haven't done any work to your house? You're just not in the Christmas feeling?
We get one or two material, but still we still not no feelings to do it neither still.
It's just a lesson for us to just do a little better for the more side and pray much more and whatsoever, and then we have to know how to celebrate our Christmas.
Are you in the Christmas spirit, really?
Well, as usual.
We don't need to feel afraid. If anything gonna happen, it will happen, and we just hope for the best, and you know. So me really wanna feel afraid or anything like that. You know, just hoping for the best.
So you're looking forward to a good Christmas this year? Are you gonna celebrate Christmas as well?
Hopefully. I don't know what it will bring, but hopefully.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines today joined the rest of the world to support the United Nations Orange Your World campaign to end the violence against women and girls. The cause, which began on November 25th, officially ends today, December 10th, which is observed as International Human Rights Day. The initiative is part of the UN's 16 days of activism to raise awareness about the scourge of violence. President of the National Council of Women, Beverly Richards, who coordinated the local activities, pointed out that 1 in 3 women are affected by some form of abuse, and many of them are in the workforce. Richards commended the local business houses for standing in solidarity with the Orange Ribbon campaign and said that women and girls who are victims need to be supported in every way.
That is in solidarity of our campaign to stop the violence against women and girls. Also, what we did, we went to various business places and we asked them to allow us to post a ribbon, a large ribbon in their show window with messages of to stop the violence. This was also successful. And so when you walk through Kingston, you may see some of these orange ribbons hanging in the window. It is not a Christmas decoration. It is in solidarity of the violence, to stop the violence against women and girls.
Some of the business places who supported the campaign say it serves as a form of empowerment for their customers and employees.
And this is a violence against women. It really needs to stop. We need to show a lot more love, respect our women. And we always say, if mothers teach your sons how to respect women, fathers teach your sons how to respect women. Also respect the females, generally the children, the young ladies, the girls in your household, and you transfer it out to the environment. We at Coreas Pharmacy Food Express and Coreas in general, we are powered by a lot of women. We are staffed by a lot of women. Women are mainly the driving force within this organization, and we will always support any initiative that will help to develop women, empower women, and most definitely end violence against women.
I am an employee at the Kingston Cooperative Credit Union. As you know, our organization is a proud, well, not really a proud sponsor, but we're a proud supporter rather of the Orange Ribbon campaign. The majority of our workers here are women. We highly value our staff and our women, as a matter of fact, and we seriously take violence against women as a negative factor.
It's something that Scotiabank is committed to. I say committed to because we also have initiative called Advancement for Women in the Workplace, and basically this initiative is all about promoting women and giving them the opportunity to progress within the bank. And it's something that we're not just putting it out there as an initiative. It's also something that we see in our branches, and especially here in St. Vincent, where over 70% of the employees here are women. So we're practicing what we preach.
Meanwhile, in observance of International Human Rights Day, Minister of Gender Affairs and National Mobilization, Frederick Stephenson, appeals to Vincentians to be more tolerant. Stephenson pointed out that it has become necessary for persons to understand that having a difference in opinion should not lead to violent arguments. He emphasized that persons must respect themselves and the rights of others and work together for the greater good of the country.
The Black Stallion reminds us that we can make it if we try, but we must try a little harder. And I'm sure that all of us together can make St. Vincent and the Grenadines the natural place to be, where people from everywhere and our own citizens can live in unity, in peace, and in concord.
And the president of the SVG Human Rights Association, Nicole Sylvester, says Vincentians must always be mindful and respect the fact that everyone is entitled to their own human rights. According to Sylvester, persons should not only observe human rights on Human Rights Day, but should do so throughout the year.
The United Nations General Assembly declared the 10th of December International Human Rights Day, and the reason for that, it was to focus us on what were those fundamental inalienable rights that we are all entitled to as human beings, that we are entitled equally to all the body of fundamental rights. I would just like to say the slogan this year is Human Rights 365. So it is human rights every day. We tend on the 10th of December to come out with press releases, and it was thought this year the focus has to be different because every day those fundamental human rights are being breached.
Sylvester says as the world observes International Human Rights Day, persons should remember the victims of human rights violations.
While we focus on our rights, I would like at this juncture to take the opportunity to focus on our many victims in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, victims of domestic violence, victims of sexual offenses, rape, and other violent crimes, and that we must remember them particularly, not just today, but really and truly every day, because we have seen even our murder rates escalating, and it is a cause for concern and for us to pause and reflect on where we are and where we have reached in terms of the high incidence of crime. And on this day, I would like us to focus on how we can assist in the reduction of crime, and in particular violent crime.
Work on the South Leeward Highway Rehabilitation Project is expected to be suspended as of Monday 19th December 2014 and resumes on January 5th, 2015. Community Liaison Officer for the South Leeward Highway Rehabilitation Project, Stephenson, says in response to requests by stakeholders, the contractor will be filling holes in some areas of the project, specifically at Buckamet Bay, Lomans Hill and Shuffler Dry Dock area. Stephenson further explains that the northbound traffic that is currently diverted through the Camden Park Industrial Estate will continue during the holiday season. He explains that the contractor Dipcon is of the opinion that the main road along the excavated site cannot take 2 lanes of traffic without compromising safety. Well, the Richardson Motors gas station reopened yesterday as Solg Richardson Motors service station. Speaking at the reopening ceremony, constituency rep and the Minister of Tourism, Cecil says that the upgrade of this station is necessary for the area, which has been attracting a lot of business. He also commended the owners for the partnership, which he says he believes will boost the country's economy.
And we all aware of the fact that in 2015 we will be coming closer and closer for the eventuality, the reality of the opening of the international airport. When the international airport is opened, when the E.T. Joshua is closed, this area will become a buzz of activity, commercial activity. It means that even more persons will be in this particular area. There will be new apartments, there will be hotels, there will be entertainment spots. This gas station is going to become even more important than it is now. The development of the new city you're seeing before your eyes. Every Monday morning, so to speak, there's a new business entity being established here. So I'm sure that that was part of the vision of Sol and Richardson collaborating to do the expansion here as we go forward with not only the development of the petroleum industry, but also the tourism industry and St. Vincent and the Grenadines.